ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you the future of Dagupan City, the Honorable Mark Brian Lim.
Thank you. Please take your seats. Please take your seats. Maupo po tayong lahat. Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. First, allow me to recognize our good Congressman Tov de Venecia. Palakpakan po natin. Our Vice Mayor, Brian Kua, and the City Councilors. To all our guests, in the interest of time, protocols have been observed. You have been duly acknowledged, so I will skip with the acknowledgement of all the guests. Haba po yung ating talumpati. So, when I was told that we had to prepare for a first 100-day speech, the first question I asked was, do we have to give one? Kailangan ba mag-speech? It was not that we had nothing to show or nothing to say, but my thinking was along the lines of, why can't we just keep on working? To my mind, and I could be wrong here, having to prepare for today, having to prepare for this speech was a momentary distraction to the things that we should be really focusing on, which is the work that we have to do. Time that could have been put to good use, planning meaningful projects, resolving issues on flooding, waste management, and others, had to be diverted momentarily in order for us to have this first 100 days report. Nonetheless, to all the people who helped us in making this morning possible, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Palakpakan niyo po ang inyong mga sarili. I'm not a big fan of fanfare. I think fanfare should be reserved for events such as the Bangus Festival or the City Fiesta. Self-aggrandizement, that is not really in my vocabulary. I wanted today to be as simple as possible. You know, I do not like to present government projects as if they were being built out of my own pocket, because they are not. They are funded by the people and they are owned by the people. I am nothing more than an enabler to make sure that things are planned properly, executed correctly, and evaluated accordingly. I see myself as nothing more than a servant to the public, hired by the people through election, and tasked to do what is already written down in our laws. President Duterte said it best. Public officials are not special. They are simply working for the people. My mission is to produce results that bring about great positive change in our city. But if I had my way, I would like to do this quietly and even invisibly. The concept of governance, to my mind, is very, very simple. Just give it your best. And that means doing things with sincerity, doing things with integrity, and doing things with humility. In the process of doing our jobs, we have to accept that some people may like you and appreciate what you do. Some people may not and continue to be critical. But regardless, as a public servant, you have to serve them all, because that is the mandate. Therefore, I stand before you as an equal, and to present the results of the first 100 days and the people responsible for achieving them. It is important that I mention this because they are the ones that must be recognized, and they are the ones that deserve your applause. In the aspect of cleanliness and upkeep of the city, I am happy to report to all of you that even prior to President Duterte's pronouncement to clear all public roads of obstacles and impediments, the Dagupan City on July 9 already commenced its cleaning and clearing operations, specifically along the Galvan Street, and in fact in the Magsaysay Fish Market with the help of Cap Doc Rosal, who is with us here this morning. Palakpakan po natin sila. Ipinagbabawal na po ang epal sa Dagupan City. All political tarpaulins before and after the election have been removed by the City Engineering Office. Permits and licenses issued by the city now only carry the city seal and the name of our city and nothing more. Tondaligan Beach has been put to order with the creation of the boardwalk, a project for a good congressman. The shoreline has been cleaned of waste and garbage. Existing sheds standardized and uniformed. Thanks to the leadership of June Cadiz and his team. Palakpakan niyo po sina June Cadiz. The Japanese garden and the city's welcome arches, after years of neglect, were recently power washed through the efforts of Roland Chua, Bumbing Yap, Mario Lim, and the other members of the Panda Volunteer Fire Brigade in cooperation with Solomon Mejia and his team. So palakpakan niyo po sila. These initiatives would not have been possible if not for the hundreds of Dagupeños who decided to share in the responsibility. In particular, the men and women of the Waste Management Division, City Hall volunteers, our friends from the Family Action of St. Therese, our friends from JCI, and even from the Magic Group of Companies, na sila po ang nagbolontaryo upang linisin ang Tondaligan area. Palakpakan niyo po sila. Imagine what we can accomplish if we continue to collaborate. The Department of Interior and Local Government, after more than 2 months of road clearing and sidewalk recovery operations, gave Dagupan City 90% grade of accomplishment. Hindi po ito magiging posible kung hindi po nagtrabaho sina Rob Erfi Mejia ng Poso at ng kanyang mga tao sa Poso, ang ating anti-hawking task force led by Michael Bogoy Hernando, our Dagupan City Police led by Lieutenant Colonel June Mangelen, our barangay captains here with us today led by our ABC President Lino Fernandez, and the City Engineering Office led by Ma'am Nancy Nazareno. Sila po ang bigyan nyo ng pugay at respeto. Those who are affected by the road clearing operations must also be given credit. And I say this because when I asked Rob and si Bogoy if there was much resistance to the road clearing operations, surprisingly they said that most of the people actually complied and they understood what the President wanted to happen. So sa tamang pakikiusap at sa tamang implementasyon, ang imposible nagiging posible. Let me stress, however, that the deadline set by the DILG is not a reason for us to stop our operations. We should build on what we have accomplished, and there must be constant monitoring by the POSO and the Anti-Hawking Task Force. The open dump site in Bunuan continues to be a pressing issue. And if we are to analyze it fully, it was really an ignorance problem. At least now we can say that Teddy Villamil and the Waste Management Division are focused on trying to resolve it. Not only do we have now an eco park adjacent to the dump site, but barangays are now being asked to segregate their waste, recover their MRFs, boats are being procured to service the island barangays, and 1/3 of the dump site, which is adjacent to the shoreline and the beach, will soon be hauled out to a sanitary landfill. At least now, there is a plan, that something is being done and the issue is no longer being ignored. Market collection from July 1st to September 30 of this year increased by 10.1 million pesos in the same period compared to last year. Local revenue generation is always a crucial metric of how a city is performing, and credit must be given to Aguedo Santa Maria and the Market Division for this accomplishment. Providing job opportunities and sustainable livelihood is something that we must also focus on. Thus far, because of the efforts of Joy Shapno and the PESO, we have successfully collaborated with SM, Sutherland, TESDA, the Department of Information and Communications Technology in establishing job fairs and training events. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. Our scholarship program has been standardized to remove politics from the equation. Our goal was to award scholarships to students because they deserve it on account of merit and not because they are favored on account of politics. Lenny De Venecia, the City Mayor's Office, volunteers from the JCI Dagupan Incorporated and Dagupan Bangus set the criteria for qualification, ran the qualification exams, and will soon conduct the final screenings to determine the 1,500 or so scholars of the city. Palakpakan niyo po sila. In the aspect of youth and sports development, credit must be given to Carlo Fernandez, Alfie Fernandez, Dr. Cecil Reyna, Karen Esguera, John Cancino, and Lawrence Nahera for taking the responsibility of fulfilling the duties of the Dagupan City Sports Commission. But ultimately, ladies and gentlemen, it is our student athletes, their parents and their families who should be commended for putting in the time and effort to be the best that they can be, to compete in events representing not only their alma mater, but also their beloved city of Dagupan. Rest assured, your city government will continue to be supportive of our student athletes. President Ramon Magsaysay once said that those who have less in life must have more in law. Laila Natividad and the City Social Welfare Office continue to respond to the immediate needs of our less fortunate constituents, and even those who are affected by disasters. Upon inspection of our Stimulation Therapeutic Activity Center, or STAT, where children and adults with disabilities get help and treatment, I came to discover its dilapidated state. The social welfare offices also left much to be desired. In an effort to give better social services, the city planning offices led by J.L. Fernandez and our team of architects are in the beginning stages of conceptualizing a new social welfare building that will house a state-of-the-art stack. Remember that therapy may be their only chance at a normal life, and they should not be deprived of this. I would also like to recognize our City Agriculture Office, headed by Emma Molina, and our Bantay Ilog team led by Jessie Doria, as they have the unenviable task of clearing our rivers of illegal fish pens. Dura lex, sed lex. The law may be harsh, but it is the law. Based on data provided by the DENR, our rivers need our help. If we do not act now, sooner than later, the quality of our rivers will not be viable for any kind of aquaculture. I thank the barangay officials, the barangay captains, and the City Agriculture Office for recently addressing this problem head-on with a forum conducted with the DENR. We are counting on Rose Teng Mejia and the City Tourism Office to revive our river cruise, as well as the rehabilitation of our docking facility adjacent to the San Marino property in Bunuan Gazette. And hopefully, we will be able to relaunch our river cruise before year end. Steps have been taken to prevent violence against women and children. The recent launch of the Pink Crusaders, led by Dr. Wendy Balingit Bernardo, the DepEd, the PNP, Liwawa at Asinan, the Association of Private Schools, the City Social Welfare Office, and other groups, in the hopes to create more awareness and provide an avenue for victims to report incidents wherein they feel secure and protected. They too should be commended for this. Palakpakan niyo po sila. Credible, accurate, and objective information nowadays is very, very hard to come by. But because of the Public Information Office and through social media, we are able to provide this to our constituents. So I thank Jimmy Cardenos and his team for continuing to provide reliable, objective, and accurate information to the city. the PARMC headed by Meliken, and of course, the CDRMC led by Ronald de Guzman, they continue to gather relevant data and continue to respond to emergencies, and their contribution to the general population of Dagupan as a whole is something that cannot be ignored and cannot be recognized. So palakpakan niyo rin po sila. We are committed to augmenting their equipment required to monitor weather disturbances as well as additional rescue equipment. Our Sangguniang Panglungsod deserves recognition as well. Vice Mayor Brian Cua and the city councilors all have expressed their intent to support our reform agenda through legislation. Today, they will be participating in the Local Development Council and soon will be deliberating on our 2020 annual budget. Flooding, ladies and gentlemen, continues to be the most pressing problems of our city. The topographic survey that should be the basis of all flood mitigation projects will soon be finished. I thank the men and women of the Flood Mitigation Commission, led by none other than Mr. Joseph Lo, and all the well-meaning architects and engineers who at no cost to the city government are giving their time and their expertise to once and for all be able to document and implement our long-term strategic plan to mitigate our flooding problem. Palakpakan niyo po sila. Thank you as well to our good Congressman Tof de Venecia for being here today and for your commitment of support, cooperation, and alignment of the city's flood mitigation efforts with your priority projects here in Dagupan City. We also wish you an advanced happy birthday. Along our first 100 days, we have reached out to friends and fellow government officials on the national level and sought their assistance in more ways than one. I am filled with gratitude that Mr. James D. and the Filipino-Chinese community for donating 7 motorcycles today to the Dagupan City National Police. Maraming salamat po sa inyo. I am grateful to Secretary Mark Villar of the DPWH for responding promptly to our request for a declogging equipment, which led to the opening of more than 200 manholes and the subsequent cleaning and clearing of our drainages along 11 thoroughfares in the downtown area. I am also appreciative of Mayor Richard Tran of Milpitas, California, for expressing his intent to renew our sisterhood relations and lay the foundation for greater collaboration economically, intellectually, and culturally. I am thankful to President Duterte and Senator Bongo, with the aid and assistance of Ralph Du, for the honor to represent the Philippines as an official delegate to the President's state visit to Russia, and the invaluable opportunity to seek the advice and help of various cabinet secretaries during that trip. I am grateful for the advice and assistance of Alan Dale Zarate, Vladimir Mata, Terence Marata, Mike Datario, Malu Vargas, Red Erfe Mejia, Bip Bip Tan. They all have contributed greatly to what has been accomplished in the first 100 days of office. I would like to apologize if there are some names or groups that have been helping our city that I have neglected to mention this morning. Please know that this is not deliberate on my part, and that I am equally thankful for the grateful efforts that you continue to give to our city. Palakpakan niyo pa yung mga sarili. Ladies and gentlemen, by no stretch of the imagination are we done. We are just getting started. All cities are continuing works of progress. In other words, if you are a mayor of a city, the work is never done. But just because the work is never done does not give us a reason to stop marching forward. Having said that, I for one continue to believe in the impact of the individual. In a world of billions of people, I am amazed by the difference that one human being can make. We cannot think of independence and freedom without Rizal or Bonifacio. We cannot think of computers and technology without Bill Gates or Steve Jobs. We cannot think of peaceful resistance to bring about change without Gandhi or Mandela. We cannot even think about arts and paintings without Da Vinci, Luna, or Edades. Think of their incredible contributions to society. The American anthropologist Margaret Mead once said, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has." This I already know to be true. The people I mentioned today are living proof of that. The next step is to get more people involved, to get more people to realize that we must all share in the responsibility that is Dagupan City. Just imagine how much more we can accomplish. So let us continue to be selfless. Let us continue to shun politics as an impediment to progress. And through God's divine grace, receive the strength to carry each other's burdens. And through our collective labor, be able to continue our precious journey towards a better day for all Dagupeños. Maraming salamat at magandang umaga sa inyo lahat. Please take your seats. The Public Information Office prepared a short video to illustrate the first 100 days. Thank you very much.
Overcoming challenges. That is what life is all about. All the hard work, the sleepless nights, the arguments, the conflicts, the challenges, and the difficulties have led to this very moment. Yet, just like any other city, just like any other municipality, we have problems that need our immediate attention. Flooding, waste management, lack of job opportunities are just some of them. Simple lamang po ang formula. Sipag, pagkakaisa, at dasal. This is what will get us through the difficult challenges that we are facing as a city. There is nothing wrong in Dagupan that cannot be cured by what is good in Dagupan. So if there is anything I would like to change above anything else in the next 3 years, it is to give our people hope. Together, let us continue to hope. We are gathered here today because we all have a responsibility to our city. While your government needs you, your city needs you more. We all come and go. The idea of Dagupan is what endures. But right here, right now, we have this great opportunity to do something for Dagupan. Allow me to end with this thought from Mayor Benji S. Lim, which I put in writing back in 2011. Our city is and will always be our shared responsibility. May God bless you all, and may God bless the city of Dagupan.
congratulations, Mayor Mark Brian Lim, the local government people, and the Dagupeños for a successful 100 days.